How do I manifest? This is what a lot of you asked for as in a response to a poll I did. So this video, I'm going to share with you how I manifest. And the way that I love sharing how I manifest is by giving you a story, an actual success story. So you can see from start to finish what went on through my mind, how I felt physically, what was going on in my mind, and the outcome. And it includes immediate revisions, immediate results, all of it. It's all stuffed into this story, and I want to share this with you. Before we get started, my name is Rose, and welcome to The Rosey Life. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for supporting me and liking my videos and sharing my content. I love you guys so much for subscribing, for watching the videos. I appreciate you. And if you're interested in joining the Rosey Life course and community where we really dive deep into these topics, go to TheRoseyLife.com. In fact, they're my reasons why I am doing the retreats. The first retreat's in London, January 2nd, and then San Diego, and then Chicago. If you're wanting information about the retreats, you just have to email me directly, and I will send you the information with all the details in there. It is going to be a full 8-hour day of me and a close, small group of other like-minded people. And man, the things that I have planned and what you're going to experience is like nothing like ever before. So I am so excited, and I can't wait to go so soon. I am so excited. Okay, so let's get into how I manifest. So how I manifest, a lot of people are like, okay, I want steps. First I visualize, and then I sit there, and then I let it go, or then I do this. Okay, that's not how I manifest. I used to try steps. I used to try scripting, visualizing. I used to try like all these things, and they all work, you guys. They all work. But what I've done is I've grown from that baby food, I call it, right, of techniques and scripting and affirming and mental all of that. I've grown from the baby food, okay, to fuck this. I want it all. I want to walk around in a life of magic where everything I want, I just think of it and it happens. And that comes with you stepping into your power and you knowing who the fuck you are. If you are relying on techniques and just affirming and just scripting and you're constantly flipping thoughts, and that is going to feel like a lot of work, because I know, because I did it. And I have so many of my one-on-one clients. Pretty much every single one of my one-on-one clients have come to me from some kind of attempt to try, flip, affirm, visualize, whatever, all the methods that they've done. And the first thing that I do is I look at it as like I try to like detox them from all of those things. And I immediately, with love, you guys, okay, with a lot of love, because I did all this, so it's not judging, all right, and it all works. But I strip them away from that and I move them into focusing on within, into their power. And every single one of them, when I tell you that every single one of my one-on-one clients have massive success, they do. They do. They do. And even recently, I'm going to post this, but like even sometimes I get a little ego human doubt, and I'm like, oh shit, did they get what they want? Does even the one person that I thought emailed me back and said after a couple months that had not worked with me when our 90 days was up, even them come back with a massive success story. So I claim it because I have that conviction from working with them that I know that they're going to have success. So just recently, I had another client yesterday email me and tell me, she said, Rose, I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to afford to work with you for 90 days. And she said she ended up taking out a 0% interest credit card to pay for working with me for the 90 days. And I didn't know all this, okay? And she said that she had doubts and was afraid where the money was going to come from. And then she said, she says, within a month of working with me, she said she started receiving unexpected money and was able to pay that off in full and have more money still left over. And this That story is the story that I get from every single one of my clients. They all receive the money back tenfold. All of them, they all receive the money. And so a lot of people get caught up or like, oh, I'm going to manifest some money and then I can work with a coach, or I'm going to manifest some money, then I can take a trip, or I'm going to manifest some money. And okay, look, if you are being pulled to work with me or do something in your life that involves money, okay, and you're waiting for the money, that's a whole nother video I'm going to do. But you want to put your faith in the desire that it comes with the success built in, not waiting for the money and then you can do this thing. Do you see how different that is? That's so conditional. But let's get back to how I manifest. So I wanted to share this story with you about a year ago, I decided that I wanted to start public speaking in front of people. And I love doing this YouTube, but I also want to do this in front of people, and I have this desire, okay? I didn't know how I was going to start because I've never done it other than teaching in classrooms. So fast forward, over the summer, I got an email saying they were looking for proposals for the Illinois State Conference. And I thought, oh, okay, here it is, Rose. Here's your chance. You said you want to public speak. You know therapists. You're a former therapist. You know how to speak to them. I've been to these conferences many, many times. I know what the deal is. So I submitted my proposal. Okay, I had never spoke at this conference, and it had been years since I even attended a conference. So I turned it in, and a couple weeks later, I actually got rejected, and I was bummed. And I thought, damn, okay, whatever, because my talk was about mastering self-talk. And I knew I could speak to a bunch of therapists with that topic because it was very familiar to me, and I was able to bring in Neville Goddard and introducing people to who they are within, but also introducing psychology theory. However, fast forward a couple months after that, I started getting phone calls and emails from the same conference asking me, we've been trying to get a hold of you because we really want you to present at the conference. Okay, so I went from getting rejected to being chosen, saying, please present at the conference. In fact, we want to pay for all the expenses involved for you to come and present. So I didn't know when I presented that people that presented at at the conference, they actually had to pay for the conference itself. And I didn't know that, okay? So when I submitted my proposal, fast forward, now they called me and said, we want you and we want to pay you. So I was like, this is awesome. So I put together my presentation. I felt very confident because I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not kidding you guys. I was like very nervous. I was like, what if I run out of time? I have to speak for 90 minutes. What if I don't have enough information on my slides? What if I run out? What if they don't like me? What if they reject what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. What if? I was shaking. I literally was like in the bathroom. I was nervous and I'm like, I don't want to do this. Maybe I can pretend that I'm sick. I was like going there, okay? You guys, as much as I wanted to do it, I was scared the whole time. I get there and I walk in to see where the room I was going to present in. And I was like, holy shit, this is a big room. And then one of the people there told me, you're going to have a full room. You have a sold out room and there's overflow that is going to be lined up seating in your room. And I'm like, what the hell? I started freaking out. I started second guessing what I had written, if I had enough, if it looked good. You guys, every doubt and fear, like, is what I'm wearing okay? Like, literally every fear that came up was coming up. And so I finally decided when it started to look at every single person in the room, and I walked down every single row of people that were there, and I thanked them for being there, first of all. So I connected with them. And then I went up there and I was vulnerable. I told him, I feel nervous. I'm feeling really nervous with you talking to a room full of therapists. And then I said, but what I'm going to share with you is going to change your life. And I'm going to start that now by telling you that this nervousness that I feel is actually excitement. I feel excitement. I feel joy for the information that you are going to hear today, the changes in your life, the changes in all your clients' life, that is going to happen with what I'm going to share with you today. So what I'm feeling now, I declare is excitement. So right there, what I did is I was just not teaching them, I was showing them. And I instantly felt a switch go off in me. The nervousness was gone, the doubt was gone, the excitement was in, and all of a sudden I felt like I was on this TED Talk, this massive stage with this massive audience, and that I was speaking to them. I was laughing, I was sharing success stories. Many of my success stories came from the TheRoseyLife course and community and from my one-on-one clients, and they were eating those stories up like pudding, and they wanted more. And guess what? I actually ran out of time. I literally had 1 minute left, and I had to cut out a lot of the success stories, a lot of the different content that I had, because I ran out of time. I had more to give them than what I had time for. And afterwards, so many people came up to me and thanked me for eye-opening, that they're going to change their life, the way they see things, the way they talk to themselves, they were excited to go work with their clients. They said that this 90 minutes could have easily turned into a 3-day conference just with me speaking, and they would have gladly attended. I was overjoyed, overwhelmed with the amount of love and gratitude that came from all of these therapists. It was complete opposite, right, of what I was fearing at the beginning. And during that time where I'm speaking, and in my mind, I'm telling my higher self, say to them whatever it is that you want to say. Use me and say to them whatever it is that you want to say. Let the switch of confidence go off in me into feeling this truth and knowing that I'm delivering truth to them, and they accept it. And that is exactly what was happening. So I just love that story because it covers a multitude of things. Like in the moment, I was switching thoughts. I was revising how I felt. I revised the feeling nervous into excitement. Do you see? So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, it's not a specific technique. It is stepping into knowing who you are, claiming love, claiming your I amness, and putting that as your focus, right? In other words, putting your awareness on who you are as, I am powerful, I'm love, I am eternal, right? This is who I am, and putting all of your focus on that, because then everything else just falls into place. You will have everything fall into your lap when that is your focus, when love is your focus, when you knowing who you are is your focus. It's remembering who you are, because you never left. In A Course in Miracles, it says that when you know who you are, you realize that you were never separated from God, from love. You were never separated. You just floated away and made up this thing called the ego with fears and doubts and beliefs, but you never separated. It's like you've always been tethered to who you are, but this ego that you create with fears and doubts and stories and myths and beliefs kept you feeling, this is a key word, feeling separated from your I am. But when you look at these beliefs and stories and you relabel them, and you make them mean something different, right? You give them a new title, just like I did. I said, I'm going to declare this nervousness feeling in that it's actually excitement. That is you stepping into your power. Do you see? I don't have to affirm or script or imagine that I feel excited. I didn't even imagine that I was a success at this thing. And I think I might have felt like excitement, right? When I leave, I'm going to feel excited. But in the moment is when I was changing, revising things. I don't have to preemptively prepare so that I get something. I'm constantly knowing that I am connected, right? I choose constantly when I feel icky, or if I feel doubtful, or any kind of fear comes up, I just remember that's just me feeling separate from I am, but I'm not, because I'm tethered to I am forever and ever, and always have been, always will be. I am one with I am. I'm just feeling this illusion of separation. That's why it feels icky, right? But just because like you're still tethered to it, right? Almost like a balloon, right? It's floating up there, but it's anchored down in the rock of who you are, the rock of I am, oneness. And you're just this little balloon up here floating around with beliefs, fears, and doubts that aren't real, okay? But you're tethered still. So you can never lose that. You've never been separated. And that is what you're doing by remembering, awakening, the enlightenment. All of those things is just awakening to who you are. And when you put your focus on that, all your manifestations just happen fast. They come to you, which is how I do it. So I want to share with you one more story. This is going to be a longer video, but I want to share with you another story too. And I think I've done a short on it already, but my son was saying that he wanted a PlayStation. He said, I want a PS5. I want a PS5. And he was saying that he didn't have the money for it, that blah, blah, blah. And I said, just stop saying that you don't have the money for it. I said, just keep paying your bills, keep being responsible, and do what you got to do. I said, the PlayStation is coming. I had no intentions of buying it. I'm like, no, I'm not buying it. And I said, maybe somebody else will buy it, but I'm not. And I said, it'll come. You're going to get the PlayStation. Just keep moving. And he was just like, but how? I don't have money. And all my paychecks go to my rent and my food and blah, 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 my bills. And he's like, but how? And I said, don't worry about it. I said, it'll come. You don't know how, but it'll come. And he was like, okay, fine, fine. So then a week later, or a couple weeks later, some guy walks into the store, his coffee shop where he works, and said, hey, does anybody want to buy my PlayStation? The game store next door wanted to rip me off and didn't want to give me very much money for it. Does anybody here want to buy it? And my son was like, damn. He's like, seriously? He's like, I want to buy it. And he checked his bank account, and he saw that he only had like $5 in his bank account. And so he said, sorry, man. And he even showed the guy, look, this is all I have. I don't have the money to buy the used PlayStation. And it was a PS4. And the guy said, you know what? It's okay. I'm just going to give it to you. And my son's like, really? And he said, dude, you come back here. I'll hook you up with free coffees anytime you want. And he was so happy. He called me that night and he said, you're never going to guess what happened to me. I got a free PS4. And he's like, I know it's not the 5, but he said, I am so excited. He said, I can't even believe that happened to me. And he went home, and I bought him the remote for it. And he went home and started playing, and he was super excited. And then I was like, and then I did a short on it. And then after the short, I started thinking, I'm like, but that's not the PS5. He wanted the PS5. And then I just was like, well, at least he has a PS4. He's happy. I'm happy. That's cool. 2 weeks later, his dad calls him and he says, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy your PS5 for your birthday. And that day, we went and got him his PS5. And so now he has a PS4 and the PS5. and literally in just a few weeks, he had no money, none, zero money to buy this. None. He didn't know where the money was going to come from. He didn't know how it was going to happen. He just knew he wanted it. And what did I do? Because that was my manifestation. I told him, I don't know how, but you are going to get your PS5. When he got the PS4, I thought, cool. But in my mind, I thought, that's not exactly what I asked for. And literally, he gets the PS5 within a week or two after that. And I thought why I wanted to share these stories with you is things are not what they appear. And I want you to tell yourself that more. Things are not what they appear to be, okay? Everything and anything can change in an instant. Just because it looks a certain way doesn't mean anything. Some would say that that was a partial manifestation, or that's not exactly what I wanted. I accepted the PS4 with joy. I was with gratitude. I said, thank you. That's so cool. But I caught myself saying, but that's not the PS5. I wanted the PS5 for him. And then he got that too. Do you see? So I wasn't like, this didn't work. It's a PS4 and it's used and blah, blah, blah. I could have done that and focused and complained. And that PS5 would have just kind of stayed away because I would have been manifesting that not happy with the manifestation. But I said, that's not the PS5. I'm happy that he has it, but that's not what I asked for. And that's it. Do you see? So I just know that when I think of something, when I choose something, when I say that this is what I want, I expect it. And expectancy is not expectancy of demand of like, I'm God. And no, it has nothing to do with that. Expectancy is the knowing that who I am, which is I am, that when I convene with I am, meaning when I think something, when I imagine something, that when I desire something, that it is heard, period. I have been heard. And when I have been heard, it is actually going to manifest. When, I don't know. How, I don't know. But I put my faith that I have been heard, not in the desired outcome, not in the how, not in the money, not in none of that, but I put my faith that I have been heard. And you have been heard. If you thought something even once, you have been heard. When you scripted something, you have been heard. When you've affirmed something, you have been heard. I want you to start putting your faith in the I am, that I have been heard. What I hear, what I see, what I do within is the only reality, and it must and will reflect to me. I don't have to force it. I don't have to reprogram my subconscious mind. I don't have to pull tricks. I don't have to fake myself out. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to do any of that because my faith is in the I am, and it must and will push out. One of the things that I encourage you to do is watch my video that I made recently about time. And that will really help you because time is something that people struggle with. It's something that I struggled with for years, and I didn't realize that I was. And when you look at time as just a story, a belief, just like anything else, you can have a belief about anything. You can have a belief that if you work out every week, like 5 times a week, that you will lose weight. That's a belief. And time is another belief, just like working out. Or if you eat healthy, that you're stronger. That's another belief, just like time is a belief. Do you see? I want you to look at time as a belief because time isn't here. It's just a linear thing, and it's something that people really get hung up with, right? It doesn't matter how long something takes. Just know it is coming. Even Neville said, if it be long, wait, because it is sure to come. Stop questioning how long. Stop saying it's been this long because you just keep time alive. You keep that belief alive. When you starve a belief, meaning when you stop giving it your attention, when you stop looking at it, when you starve it, the belief is gone. And then now you've cut out the whole middle, the whole time thing, all right? Instead, focus on your I amness. Focus on love. Focus on who you are. Create that relationship with your I am. I cannot tell you how beautiful and wonderful, and that is literally the only relationship that you want to give all your attention and time and focus and energy to, right? Is that one with your I am, because your I am's got your back. And I know that my I am has my back. I know it, and I trust I am. Even when I feel frustrated or if I feel like things that are impossible in the moment, I choose to remind myself that I am there. I choose to see love behind this doubt, this fear. I choose to love the doubt. I choose to love the fear. I relabel things. I use my power and say, no, this means this, not that. That's what this means. All of this means that I am being led to my desires. Do you see? I use my power in the moment like that when I am feeling anything, knowing that I have my desires have been heard. I don't have to keep repeating them. My desires are already been heard and they're all on their way. Do you see? So that is how I manifest. I would love to hear your stories, and thank you so much for being here, your support, for liking my videos, for subscribing to The Rosey Life, for being part of the course and community. I love you guys so, so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.